What's up, everybody out there in podcast world? You're listening to the Service Business Mastery Podcast. I'm your host, Tersh. This podcast is focused on service business owners, managers, and technicians who are considering becoming business owners themselves. I'm excited for today's episode. We're going to talk to Rich Fong. We've had great results and feedback from other episodes that are based on SEO. So we got Richard to come on, and he's going to talk a little bit about setting up a landing page and setting up the perfect landing page. So before we get started, though, I'd like to give a shout out to Eric Presley. He gave us a 5-star review on iTunes, and I want to read his review really fast. Great content. He says, great content, easy listening. This podcast comes into my trade every now and then, and I enjoy this professional help. Shout out to Eric. Just so happens that Eric, he works out on the base sometimes with my lovely wife, who is in the Air Guards. Eric he works on the air compressors in his civilian life. I just happen to know that, and just so happens that when I pulled up iTunes, he was the first review right there on the screen. So, boom, it's just meant to happen, I guess, huh? And I believe, am I right, Julie? Julie just happens to be sitting next to me. Did he take a selfie? Yeah, I thought so. He took a selfie with my truck last weekend during drill. So posted it to Facebook. So Eric, your $20 will be in the mail. Appreciate all that. So nah, kidding. I don't have $20 to give you, Eric. Just kidding. Anyways, I'm going to preface this episode with, if you like this, if you get some value out of this episode, I really want you to do something for me. I don't get paid for this, but I really enjoy giving back to the community. I really like talking to people about our industry and about how to make service industry a better place. So it's why I do this all the time. It's 11 o'clock on the dot, and here I am editing this episode, and it's a labor of love. But if you find value in this episode, if you do me a huge favor, take a screenshot of it and share it on your Instagram stories and tag me in it. I'll share it. I'll share your content. We can mix and mingle some followers and hopefully get some more people to learn about this podcast and really just help them improve in the industry. Next week, I think that, don't hold me to this, but next week I think we're going to talk more about automation and what happens within my business and how Julie and we really automate our days, and we can get so much accomplished in each day. That's next episode. This episode, we're going to talk about landing pages and how to create the perfect landing page. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce to you Rich Fong from blissdrive.com. Welcome to the show, Richard.
Hey, thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So on today's episode, we're going to talk about the 3 must-haves for the perfect landing page. So we oftentimes talk about landing pages as kind of a side note or just like a footnote in the entire SEO game, as it could be called. And whenever we are planning out our perfect SEO strategy, sometimes the landing page is neglected. Sometimes I even see where people just send everybody to their homepage, which is not good either. So we're going to talk today about those 3 must-haves for that perfect landing page. But before we get started, I really want Richard to explain a little bit about how he got to where he is now, because he wasn't originally from Orange County, California. He's transplant there, and I find the journey there pretty exciting there.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, I actually was born in Shanghai, China, and then I moved to Kansas, Overland Park, Kansas, when I was 8 years old, and kind of learned English, there, and grew up there until I was 21, where I then moved to California. Went to UC Irvine and graduated there with an economics degree. So yeah, that's kind of been where I've been, and where I am now.
Did you
In voice work.
always know that that's what you're doing now is that what you've always wanted to do?
You know what? No, when you're a kid, there's no. Well, when I was a kid, there's no SEO, or that's not a
True.
digital marketing. I remember used to get on AOL, right? You got mail,
Oh,
and that was
yeah.
the most exciting part of the day, right? So
Mhm.
back in the days, there was nothing like that. That's why even when I got the economics degree, I wish I knew about the internet and how it's going to transform the world.
Right.
I would have studied that, but they were not teaching that. So yeah,
Mhm.
this is something I kind of evolved into as I was looking into creating my own websites and business and lead gen, etc. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Bliss Drive.
Yeah, Bliss Drive is we specialize in search engine optimization
Mhm.
for small businesses, right? So what we do is we look at small businesses like HVAC, home services, and we look at where they are on their website, their maps, anything that actually generates leads for them, builds reputation for them, and then get them more calls.
Cool. So, have you heard or seen, uh, this is kind of off topic, but there's conversation out there that SEO is dead or is dying. Have you heard that? I mean, we
Oh
both
yeah,
know that's not true, but,
yeah. I mean, I think the people who says that is typically trying to pitch you something else that they're selling. Right.
yeah,
But obviously, how can SEO be dead? As long as Google is around and people are going onto Google, SEO is never going to die, right? Because someone's always ranking on the first place and they're doing some SEO to get there. Like someone's always getting on top. So that's just nonsense. It's Google actually has more search volume, or more searches start on Google than anything else. They don't go on Facebook. They don't go on any other social media or anything else. It starts on Google.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally. I agree 100%. Would you say that the people who may be pushing the SEO is dying, they are trying to get you to use more pay per click? Do you do any pay per click yourself, or like Google local services or LSA?
Yeah, I actually do not do pay per click. I focus strictly on SEO.
Yeah.
And if you want to think about pay per click, right? Some typically pay per click gets about 2 to 5% click through rate. So out of 100 people who are searching for your services, 2 to 5% will click on 2 to 5 people will click on an ad. Okay, and that ad could be like $10 a click. That
Right.
that doesn't mean they're calling you, but it's just depending on the marketplace. For HVAC, usually it's around that price, right? That means if you think about it, 95 people are not even clicking on the ads. They're going straight to the organic, looking at what Google is serving up, what Google is preferring for them. Okay. So that's a huge market. Uh, if you're doing well on pay per click, then you should definitely get on SEO, just because, there's a big market that's not even clicking on the ads.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Cool. So let's dive right down into the three must have. So the first thing that you must have for a perfect landing page, what would that be?
Yeah, so the first thing that any landing page should have is a call to action, right? And actually, you would have several call to actions, okay? And I'm going to jump to number 2 and 3, and I'll come back to
Okay.
why we should have the call to action. The number 2 thing that you should have is actually catering the landing page to what the user or the searcher is
Hmm.
looking for, right? So you were alluding to that. You were saying, hey, a lot of times people are just sending traffic to like the homepage, which is not specific to what they're looking for, right?
Hmm.
If someone's looking for like a heater repair, they don't want to land on AC repair, or they don't want to land on anything else other than what's their problem, right? So you want to figure out what you're actually targeting, who you're targeting, and having that page with the images with the right elements to it. Okay. And then number three is social proof, right? So they want to make sure that you're legitimate because if you think about it, on a landing page, when someone's searching for a home services, they're not going to take days and days and weeks. It's not like they're searching for their vacation and planning it out, right? They're looking for results. They're looking for someone to come over, give them estimates, and maybe and do it that day. Like, max deal spends like 5 to 15 minutes. Okay, so that's why your number one call to action is super important, right? So knowing what they're actually, so understanding what they're actually looking for,
Mhm.
and having the right credibility is very important. And then with the call to action, you want to have a phone number, but not just a phone number. You want to have a phone number that's clickable. So on mobile, they can click through. But associated with a phone number, you want to give them a reason to call, right? So something like, hey, we'll give you a free estimate on your AC repair, or we'll give you a discount, etc. That's
Mhm.
awesome. Another type of call to action is, hey, here's a coupon, go ahead and download it, give us your email, right? Or another call to action would be like, go ahead and chat and we'll give you a price list or estimate of what we can offer. So all those ideas are kind of call to action, because essentially what you want every visitor to do is take the next step, which is reaching out to you. If they bounce, go to the next vendor, that means 98% of the time they're never going to come back, and you're done. And even a really good converting website, it gets about 1 to 2, maybe 3% conversion rate. So
Wow.
having great strong call to action is very important on the website, and understanding what the psychology of the user coming in, the visitor coming in, is very important as well.
Hmm. Cool. So, does it matter where the call to action is on the landing page?
Yeah. So obviously you want to have your phone number nice and bolded on the top initially. Typically what we like to do is we like to have that phone number scroll down with you. So you have the top menu, and as they're scrolling down, checking you out, looking at what you can do, looking at if you're good, that phone number follows, right? And then as it goes down, you'll have maybe a form as well, so that you could say, okay, and go ahead and fill out the form and request a estimate, etc. At the bottom, but the phone number on top. I will even put the phone number in the title of the website. So sometimes people may not even want to click through to the website itself, but if they see the phone number on the title, you know how when you're on the Google search engines, you sometimes you see phone numbers. That's a smart move,
Oh, that's
because
cool.
they may not even click on your website. They just want to call somebody.
Yeah, like instantaneously. They
Yeah,
just want it
exactly.
done.
Yep.
And then would you say that it's important to have a different call tracking number for each landing page?
For sure.
Okay.
It depends on your camp, like how
Okay.
aggressive you are in setting up your campaigns. If you're targeting specific campaigns or specific advertising, yeah, you definitely want a different tracking phone number for um, every campaign that you have. Some people get a little attached to their phone numbers,
Yeah,
but it's just use it up. Use as many as you can if you're doing a lot of campaigns.
absolutely. Cool. And so then moving on to the second number 2, when you're catering that page to the specific people, how do you cater? Do you, like, run 2 of them side by side, and then you test that one, and then how long if you do that, how long do you
Yeah.
test it?
Well, I don't want to get, for most people, A/B testing is not very practical, and
Okay.
here's why,
Alright.
right? So, uh, if you're doing $10 a click, how many times are you going to drive traffic to it and A/B test it, and realistically,
Right.
right? It's not unless you're driving like 300 uniques, 300 visitors to your website, like in a short amount of time, where you can get some significant data results and you can see which one is working. It's
Okay.
usually not going to work that well. It sounds nice in theory,
Right.
and might work better for like an e-commerce or kind of a national company. But for more of a local company, I would uh, just have the page, look at the top guys, look at the top advertisers, and see what's on their landing page to give you ideas. Because obviously there's something there that's like driving traffic and conversions for them, right? And then what I would do is I would try to avoid using stock photos, right? I would use your own messages and your own photos. So if you're talking about a certain brand
Mhm.
of air conditioner,
Mhm.
have a picture of you guys fixing it, and say, hey, we fixed this brand, and we know this deal, and go ahead and call us, right? That would be what I would do, and just having that picture and then work with that.
I like that, and I've always believed in doing away with stock photos.
Yeah,
Sometimes
sure.
you need a photo to stick there, but then as soon as you can figure out a way to get, an image of your
Yeah,
team to replace it, do that as soon as possible.
that's right. And I would go one step further. If we're moving above beyond the top three, right? I would have actually a video
Mm,
of even the owner or the team just talking, because at the end of the day, they want to know, like, you're going to come to their home
mhm.
and they're going to have you. So there's a lot of trust involved. So a lot of times I think home services, they don't think about that. They just think, oh, I fix the mechanics of something and that's it. But trust is quite involved into this business. So if they can see you in video, if they can see the owner talk and see the owner's sincerity, that's gonna carry a lot of weight. And the best way to do that is through video, and it's very easy actually. You could just have a video in YouTube,
Uh-huh.
embed that into your landing page, and then YouTube is actually owned by Google, so you're actually supporting Google, and Google likes to rank stuff that has YouTube videos embedded.
Oh,
So
cool.
you're kind of taking out two birds with one stone.
When you do that, do you make it unlisted,
No,
or does it
you could
matter?
list it as well. Yeah, you could totally have it public, optimize it for this type of repair in the city service plus the location, and then have it embedded into that landing page. So imagine you have like 30 videos based on the different types of products or different types of locations that you're actually servicing, and your competitor has zero. Imagine what that's going to do for you.
I just imagine business owners getting in front of a camera.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it takes practice. I'm not going to say it's like super easy and everyone can do it, but it's just as hard for your competitors. So
Yeah.
if you can do it, if you can kind of force yourself or make yourself, or just get out there, and all you have to do is do it once, and it's leveraged. You could use it forever,
Mhm.
and that's going to drive conversion and business for you forever.
I like it. So, how about the social proof?
Yeah. So social proof, Yelp. Even though I know a lot of businesses don't like Yelp, right?
Yeah.
Because they're kind of like a mafia in a way. Yelp is still very important. Consumers still look at Yelp. They don't know what Yelp does, in the background, right? But
Mhm.
it's a lot easier for your consumers to kind of just read some reviews, 5 stars, etc. So you definitely want to mind. Yelp is kind of like the double-edged sword. It can hurt you and it can really help you.
Mhm.
So if you can, try to get 5 star reviews on your Yelp. So a lot of owners, they kind of just ignore Yelp, and then, or
Mhm.
certain, okay, so there's two type of owners, right? The one that really, they know the power of Yelp and they really try to nurture Yelp and get 5 stars, and they'll go out of their way to remove any 1 stars, meaning they'll go back, fix the work, refund the money, do whatever it takes to keep their 5 stars going. And then there are the owners who don't care about Yelp, and their reviews suffer, right? Because the good clients, the customers that are happy with you, they don't go and put up a review because you never asked them to, and then only the angry ones are going out there
Right.
and putting in bad reviews. So you're not protecting yourself, right?
Mhm.
So that's one. Like, you should mind Yelp, and you should have a active process to getting these positive reviews to not just get more business, but also protect yourself from the negative reviews that could potentially, you're just doing business. It's bound to happen. But if you can insulate yourself from some of that with a lot of positive reviews, that's going to be very helpful.
Very much so. So, with those reviews, are we putting them on, like, the landing page in a certain area, or
Yeah. Yeah, if you have prominent 5-star reviews, you could definitely put it. You could put their logo on your top banner. You can put it all over the map, all over the place, right? However, if let's say you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of customers, where you're building out your Yelp review, right?
Hmm.
So let that set aside. The next best thing you could do is video testimonials. So when you're at the customer's location, hey, are you happy with the service? Would you mind if I take a quick video testimony, and just ask them a couple questions, and then with that video, that's going to have a lot of proof. You can use that to transcribe and put it all over your website as well.
Oh, sweet. Do you find that homeowners and people who are clients of service businesses are receptive to doing that?
Yeah, it really depends on how you ask it. Obviously, some people are more shy about more camera shy, and they're not going to agree to it. 10 out of if you get asked 10 people, and then just 2 or 4 people say yes, you still got 2 or 4 videos, and then the other ones that don't want to do it, that's fine, that's okay, And then you could offer them some type of incentive, right? You could say, hey, next time we'll give you some type of discount, or do something to offer an incentive, give them a Starbucks card, etc., to make that. But not everyone's going to say yes, but you don't need everyone to say yes. You just need those articulate ones that are going to like shine on the video anyway.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. So does it matter with the color and background other than not stock images?
With the website itself,
Well, yeah, with the website or the landing pages, or do they need to be consistent, or can they be different?
You know, I've seen a lot of different types of landing page works, right? I've seen like modern landing pages, like like very modern. They got all the bells and whistles. Convert actually less than just an ugly looking like 1990 built website, because the 1990 built website looks like someone who may be more affordable, or it
Oh,
might load faster, or it might have some, just images that people feel like, this guy I can trust. That's it.
gotcha.
It really, the colors and the designs don't matter as much as the message itself,
Mhm.
right? On what you're trying to convey. If you're trying to convey as a, this pristine company, that's cool, but people may think that you may be more expensive,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. If you present yourself as the, one man shop,
Mhm.
that's cool. Some people may call you because they're looking for they think they're going to get a better deal. But some people may not call you because they think you'll be too busy.
Mhm.
Whatever, people have different ideas of thinking about whatever it is. But what I would do is just make sure you can cover, whatever you stand for.
Mhm.
Make sure that's represented on the website itself.
Gotcha. Yeah, don't appear to be fake or appear to be
Yeah,
somebody else.
exactly.
They'll see right through it pretty fast.
Yeah. Don't pretend like you have 20 trucks, and then, like
Yeah.
you're answering the phone where it's going straight to the voicemail, right? And then people are like, "Oh, what's this?" Right? That's not consistent. Yeah.
Yep. Totally agree. Cool. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast, and I know the customers are the customers. We're talking about customers on our visiting the landing page. I know that the listeners are excited that you came on, and thank you for sharing that knowledge. If somebody wants to reach out to you and Bliss Drive, what's the best way for that to happen?
Yeah, for sure. So check out my website, Bliss Drive, BLISSDRIVE. So it's like Bliss, like happy, and then drive. And then you can also email me, rich@blissdrive.com. And I'll be happy to answer any questions. And then we have our phone numbers there, and
Cool.
you can reach out that way. Yeah.
Perfect. And I will link those up in the show notes too. And thank you again for coming on the podcast. And I'm sure that people will have questions, and if so, we'll definitely reach out and ask those and get them all answered for them.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Boom. Thank you again, Rich, for coming on the podcast and sharing all of your knowledge with us. It's always a pleasure to have someone who is an expert in a super niche like that. It's really cool to know things about, a lot of areas within your industry. But it's also really cool to talk to someone who is super focused in one niche area. And I feel like that's how Richard Fong and his team at Bliss Drive are. So again, that's BLISSDRIVE.com. Remember, if you made it to the end of this episode, thank you. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Without you, there would be no reason to have this episode or this show. So truly, I do appreciate it. If you like this episode, please remember, take a screenshot of it and share it through your Instagram stories. Tag me in it. It's at Tersh Blissett. That's TERSHBLISSETT. Tag me on Instagram. I'll share it. If I'm not following you, I'll give you a follow. I'd like for more people to learn about this show and just spread the message. It's really cool to hear feedback from everyone. I get an email once or twice a day. If nothing else, it's just an email testing out the autoresponder. That's been like a thing for the past couple of weeks, which has been really cool. But anyways, thank you for sticking with me to the end of the show. And if you have any questions, don't forget my email address is Tersh, TERSH, at icebound.us. Click that subscribe, hit the like if you're listening to this on YouTube. Leave a 5-star review. Boom. That's it. Have a wonderful week. We'll talk again soon on the Service Business Mastery Podcast. The podcast focused on service business owners, managers, and technicians who are considering becoming business owners themselves. Have a wonderful week.